October nights in Brisbane's Ashgrove, superb or quietarily quiet, but few realize that beneath the serene streets lies a cemetery with a history darker than most dare to whisper about. Ashgrove Cemetery, established in the late 1800s, was meant to honor the early settlers of Brisbane. Yet over the decades, locals began to speak in hushed tones about the forgotten one souls that never truly left, spirits that roam the cemetery under the cover of night. On moonless nights, it's said their presence becomes impossible to ignore a place where history sleeps. Ashgrove Cemetery was consecrated in 1882, intended as a place of rest. Rows of worn headstones and crumbling mausoleums stand as silent markers of lives that shaped the area. But as the years passed, the cemetery gained a reputation far beyond that of a peaceful resting ground. Visitors reported cold chills even in summer, unexplained whispers that seemed to come from empty graves, and shadows that darted between the tombstones, vanishing the moment anyone looked directly at them. Local folklore tells of the forgotten ones, individuals who died under mysterious circumstances in the 1890s. Unlike other graves, these are unmarked or illegibly labeled, as if the town itself wanted to erase their memory. Some say these souls harbor anger, others believe they are merely lost. Wandering between the living and the dead, the historians encounter one of the most chilling accounts came from a local historian researching the cemetery in the 1980s. One foggy evening, as he walked the rows of graves, with only a lantern to light his path, he noticed a figure in the distance. It appeared to be a man dressed in 19th century clothing, standing perfectly still near one of the older graves. As the historian approached, the figure's head slowly turned toward him, though no face could be discerned in. Then it simply vanished, leaving nothing but a biting cold in its wake. The historian reported that even after returning home, he could feel the figure's presence lingering. Doors would creak open on their own. Objects in his study were inexplicably moved. And at night, he claimed to hear soft whispers calling his name. Experts on paranormal activity suggest such events might be residual hauntings, echoes of moments frozen in time, but the intensity of the encounter left him convinced that some force in Ashgrove Cemetery was conscious, aware, and watching. The Lullaby in the Moonlight, another terrifying story, involves a group of young friends who dared to explore the cemetery on a moonless night. As they wandered among the graves, they heard the unmistakable sound of a child's lullaby, soft but echoing clearly through the cold air. The friends followed the haunting melody until they reached an unmarked grave with a small toy wooden doll sitting atop it. The lullaby stopped abruptly the moment they reached the grave. One friend swore she saw a tiny figure of a child standing behind the tombstone, its head tilted unnaturally, eyes hollow and dark. When she blinked, it was gone. Terrified, the group fled the cemetery, but later that week, all of them reported waking up to the feeling of a cold hand on their shoulders, or hearing the lullaby softly sung from somewhere just outside their rooms. The shadow figures, perhaps the most unsettling aspect of Ashgrove Cemetery, are the shadow figures that people have encountered. These are not ordinary shadows. Many witnesses report them moving independently of any light source, darting between gravestones and disappearing when approached. Some have been seen lingering at the edge of the forest that borders the cemetery, observing intruders before retreating silently into the darkness. One visitor, a paranormal investigator, spent an entire night at the cemetery with recording equipment. When reviewing the footage, he noted strange orbs of light moving against the wind, faint silhouettes gliding across the grounds, and a low guttural whispering that seemed to circle around the microphone. None of these phenomena could be explained by wind, animals, or equipment malfunction. The cursed graves local. Legend tells that some graves in Ashgrove Cemetery are cursed. Those who linger too long near them often experience nightmares, phantom touches, or even temporary disappearances of personal belongings. One grave belonging to an unnamed child from 1892 is said to be particularly active. Visitors report hearing the child laughing, crying, or playing in the snow, sounds that stop immediately when someone tries to find the source. Historians note that during 1892, the town experienced an unusual number of deaths due to illness and accidents. Many children died young, and some of these graves were hastily marked or left unmarked. It is speculated that these restless spirits, forgotten by the town over the years, now linger in Ash Grove Cemetery, seeking recognition or attempting to communicate with the living. The legacy of Farouche Grove Cemetery continues to fascinate and terrify visitors. Paranormal researchers, ghost hunters, and thrill seekers venture into its grounds, hoping to witness the unexplained for themselves. Some report nothing, while others describe chilling experiences that defy explanation. The consistent nature of these reports suggests that Ash Grove Cemetery may indeed host lingering spirits, echoing the tragedies of the 19th century. Despite the fear, the cemetery is carefully maintained by local historical societies. Tours are conducted during the day to educate the public about its rich history and those who lie within. Yet, at night when the fog rolls in and the moon hides behind thick clouds, the tales of the forgotten ones remind everyone that Ash Grove Cemetery is more than just a resting place. It is a threshold between the living and the dead, a warning. For the brave, those who visit Ash Grove Cemetery after dark are advised to tread lightly. The forgotten ones are said to be most active in the late hours, especially on nights when the mist creeps low across the gravestones. Footsteps that echo in the dark, fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures, the cold touch of unseen hands. These are just some of the experiences reported by the brave souls who venture into the cemetery after nightfall. Some believe that these spirits are harmless, merely trapped by their own tragic histories, while others warn that the forgotten ones are aware of intruders and do not take kindly to being disturbed. For locals, Ash Grove Cemetery is a place of respect, a reminder of lives lost too soon, and of the thin veil that separates the living from the dead. Ash Grove Cemetery is more than a historical site. It is a living, breathing story of tragedy, mystery, and the supernatural. From the vanished historian's figure to the haunting lullabies of a long-forgotten child, the cemetery continues to inspire awe and fear. The forgotten ones remain a chilling testament to the fact that some spirits never truly rest, and some stories never die. For those drawn to the unknown, to the terrifying, and to the unexplained, Ash Grove Cemetery stands as a haunting reminder of the past, urging us to remember that sometimes dead are never truly gone. If you want more chilling true ghost stories, hair-raising mysteries, and unexplained phenomena from around the world, hit subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications. Every week, we dive into tales that will keep you awake at night and questioning what's really out there. Ash Grove Cemetery awaits dare you step inside.